So, Cuphead is a game about
Cuphead and his pal Bugman.
they're at a casino, they bet their souls for riches to the devil, lose, and now have to collect the souls of the devil's debtors, or else they'll have their own souls taken. This is all conveyed in a 1920s, 1930s-esque barbershop quartet song. If you can't tell, that's what this game's thing is, so just roll with it. I'll talk about it later. The game is made by brothers Chad and Jared Moldenhauer, who remortgaged their houses and quit their jobs just so they could focus on developing their first game. After being first announced in 2013, Cuphead gained a lot of anticipation and traffic from the gaming community. 4 years later, Cuphead was finally released and was met with insanely positive reviews. However, some game reviewer couldn't get past the tutorial and was mocked into oblivion. Cuphead is the Dark Souls of video games, indeed. This game's known for its difficulty, its music, and its style, so let's get into it. If Cuphead is known for one thing, it's its difficulty curve. You start out in your home where your friend, Mr. Kettle, gives you superpowers. You go through a tutorial that teaches you how to fight the bosses, dodge attacks, slap pink things, and the importance of capitalism. You leave Mr. Kettle and go out into the world map where you're free to wander around and find your targets. Now, you aren't just running around fighting people who owe the devil their soul. You can also run around in run and gun sections. These run and gun sections mostly are there to break up the action a bit, and there isn't normally a big boss, so it's just an environment of enemies for you to shoot / dodge around. These levels have a number of coins in them, usually 5, which you use to buy power-ups from Porkrind, the shopkeeper. Your powers range from lethal finger guns to a sucker punch to spinning so fast you create a whirlwind. Of course, you're going to want to upgrade your character if you want to beat the bosses. The bosses all have their own individual attacks and approaches to battling you, so you're going to want to buy as many upgrades as possible and switch through them as they apply. Boss battles range from auto-scroll levels to singular rooms to aerial battles. Now, as you attack the boss, you gain power to a set of cards in the bottom left, which lets you do a super attack. Your base super attack is the sucker punch, but it changes as you change your own weapon. There's also the special attack. Sound familiar? You unlock special attacks by saving this chalice from a bunch of ghosts. 3 different times, 3 special attacks. So that's about it. The majority of the battles in the first Inkwell Isle are easy, but then it amps up in the second and even more so in the third. Honestly, I had a lot of fun playing this. It's difficult, but I feel like that the challenge makes it a bit more enticing to come back. As I said before, this game's thing is the 1920s, 1930s era of animation, and this game lives and breathes that era. As you can tell, everything from all the characters to the bosses, the shopkeeper, and the backgrounds are using rubber hose animation. This makes everything in the world look like a Mickey Mouse cartoon. The animators actually had to draw 50,000 frames by hand, not including backgrounds. It just adds even more to the game knowing how much effort went into just how it looks. Not to mention the jazz music that's throughout the entire game, giving each area its own theme, each boss their own boss music, adding an expository number at the beginning of the game. The bosses all have different designs that switch from one phase of the battle to the next. Mixing this with the jazzy background music makes this phase of the game really fun and energetic. It definitely helps make each boss distinct from each other. I gotta say, this game is absolutely fantastic in its presentation. Cuphead, you're getting a gold star from me. Okay, so ranking this game is going to be troublesome. This is because I respect it a lot as a game, but I'm not so sure I like it more than some of the other games listed. I had a fun time playing it, but this game's really frustrating after your 10th battle with the dragon, or the Candy Queen. So I think I'm going to put Cuphead right in between the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise and Doki Doki Literature Club. This may seem a bit weird, but I think Cuphead was more enjoyable than DDLC. This is mostly due to the animation and music part of the game, however. I had more fun playing the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise than this though, so it's going to be a challenge for the future to find a game that I can say I like more than Cuphead. But I think it's possible. Cuphead is an amazing game. Despite its difficulty, I feel as though it's really fun to play with. Granted, you may have a bad time playing it, but when you leave, you'll remember it fondly. In the end, Cuphead was a fantastic example of passion brought into a video game. These two were able to create not just a fun video game, but a wonderful tribute to the earliest animations. So, I'd recommend this to anyone who's looking forward to the challenge. Oh yeah, and you can play multiplayer or whatever. Well, thanks for watching this video. The next video won't take nearly as long to come out, I promise that's not a guarantee. All support is appreciated, feel free to check out my second channel, I'm going to be posting some content over there, and I will see you next time. Bye!